So last class we left at this place. Goals of HGP: to identify all the genes in the human genome, to identify all the nucleotide base pairs in the genes, to discover genes which causes genetic disorders, then to store information in databases, and lastly was to address ethical, social, legal issues which were connected to HGP. Now, we will understand that what were the non-human organisms whose genome was studied. Organisms whose genome was studied. So the non-human organisms whose genome was studied, one was bacteria, that is E. coli. Second was yeast. Scientific name of yeast you should know, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Third, Drosophila, Drosophila melanogaster, which is fruit fly. Fourth, a non-pathogenic nematode is roundworm. Nematode is roundworm. Non-pathogenic means not causing disease. So non-pathogenic nematode, which was Caenorhabditis elegans. Caenorhabditis elegans. C will be capital, okay? Because it's the name of the genus and elegans is the name of the species. So Caenorhabditis elegans, this is the non-pathogenic nematode. इसका भी genome was studied. And fifth is plants. So if the question is asked on plants, which were the plants that whose genome was studied? One is rice and other one is Arabidopsis. Rice and Arabidopsis. These were the two plants whose genome was studied. So these are the non-human organisms whose genome was studied along with the human genome project, and lot of comparison was made, like human genome versus E. coli, human genome versus Drosophila, how many genes present, how many genes not present, like this. Lot of comparisons were made. So this is about the gist, and yes, are entrance questions, very important entrance questions about plants, animals. These three, though you, I'm sure you're able to remember: E. coli, Escherichia coli, yeast, and Drosophila. Now, the next topic is what were the methods used to study the human? What was the method to study the genome? So there were two methods. One was express sequence tag, and second was sequence annotation. Two methods: express sequence tag, and second was sequence annotation. So we will just understand what is these two methods and then go ahead. So the methods which was used for studying the genome, basically studied genome. First one, expressed sequence tags. EST, EST and small s. Okay. Express sequence tags. EST and small s here. Tags ka small s. So all these abbreviations are quite important for you to remember, and questions can be asked even on the abbreviations. So what is express sequence tag? It is to identify all the genes after it is expressed in RNA or mRNA, after it is expressed in mRNA. So by studying the mRNA, we can find out what are the genes on the DNA. This is the meaning. To identify all the genes as it is expressed on mRNA. Now see, suppose here mRNA है. A, U, G, C, C, T. ये mRNA. ओके, ये mRNA. अभी इसका DNA क्या होगा? कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री होगा, है ना? A will pair with T, U will pair with A, G will pair with C, C will pair with G, G, A. Okay, so ये one strand हो गया DNA का. Now we can make out the other strand of DNA. The other strand of DNA is A, T, G, C, C, like this. So now you can, this is the DNA, the gene which has been identified. So studying the expressed mRNA, we can identify the gene or the DNA. This is called as express sequence tag. So looking at the mRNA and mRNA, expressed mRNA, then you can identify what is the DNA. Because you have to understand the mRNA is formed by DNA, one template, one strand of DNA, which is 3 dash 5 dash. That strand, the other strand will be 5 dash 3 dash of strand of DNA. So you say mRNA say what are the genes, which genes are expressing mRNA. If I say like this, genes expressing mRNA. So here what is done is to first identify the mRNA and then find out what is the genes. So ulta. This is how it is. This is called as express sequence tags. Second is annotation, sequence annotation.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher, can you please explain the part which you have just said?
Okay. Who's this?
Vishakha.
Acha, Vishakha. Okay. Now I'll just take a bigger this thing. So see, ये mRNA हो गया. Sorry. What did I take? A, U, G, C, 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 T. Suppose this is mRNA strand. mRNA strand, ये 5 dash, ये 3 dash. Okay. Now, how to identify the gene or the DNA? Gene is the word. DNA is actually the molecule. So mRNA, which gene will express it? This is have to identify. Now, the DNA strand which will synthesize this, I'll just put a straight strand. It's, you know that it's a double helix strand, but I'll just make a straight strand. Okay. Now the DNA, A, complementary base pairing rule. A pairs with T, ये T आएगा यहाँ पर. U, ये uracil है. So U will pair with A, G will pair with C, C will pair with G, 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 A. ये 3 dash 5 dash. ये DNA का 3 dash 5 dash. Now DNA is a double helical strand. So obviously the 5 dash of the DNA, 5 dash 3 dash of the DNA will be A double bond T, triple bond G. ये हो गया तुम्हारा DNA मॉलिक्यूल. So mRNA say we are the mRNA which is expressed, we are identifying the DNA, the gene. So this is called as expressed sequence tags. See, ये this whole thing देने का जरूरत नहीं है, but I'm making you understand what do you mean by express sequence tag. So identifying the gene by the expressed mRNA. This is called as expressed sequence tag. And all these are important, these questions are asked. So mRNA ka 5-3-N is synthesized by the DNA 3-5-N, opposite 3-5-N. तो ये DNA का 3-5-N है. And what is this? This is simply complementary base pairing rule. बेस पेयरिंग रूल बहुत सिंपल है. A will always pair with T. A will pair with T. G will pair with C, and vice versa. T pairs with A, C pairs with G, vice versa. Now in RNA, ये RNA है, RNA में T नहीं है, there is no T. So the T is replaced by U. T is replaced by U. So अगर U है, this is U, this is U. So what is the base pairing rule? U will pair with A. ये T है, ये A है, adenine, and T is there in DNA, so thymine. So this is the only confusion I'm sure you are having. Otherwise, G, C, C, G, that is no problem there. But you have to understand that in RNA, there is no thymine. Instead of thymine, there is uracil. Okay, so this is express sequence tag. Now the second method is sequence annotation. Sequence annotation. Sequence annotation. Now in sequence annotation, both coding and non-coding areas of the gene was studied, and then functions were assigned. Functions were assigned. Now, if you remember split genes, hnRNA has both coding areas and non-coding areas. Coding areas are those which will code for amino acid. Non-coding areas are those which do not code for an amino acid. So basically in eukaryotes, the non-coding area is removed and coding areas are joined to form the messenger RNA or mRNA. But ये इसमें sequence annotation में the entire DNA is studied, both coding and non-coding areas, and after that the functions are assigned to the obviously coding areas only, because non-coding areas को तो it doesn't code for any protein or amino acid. So functions are assigned to the coding areas. So this is called as sequence annotation. ये सब थोड़ा abstract है. It is more into what is called as biotechnology. So you know it's difficult for you to understand, but I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can. So this is called a sequence annotation, and sequence annotation is the one, this method was used for studying the human HGP, that is human genome project के लिए this method was used. So again a question can be asked, which method was used to study human genome or for human genome project? So it was sequence annotation. Now, this one we will explain in little detail, because what are the steps of sequence annotation? So, what are the steps? Firstly, DNA is isolated from human cell. complete DNA, total DNA is isolated from the human cell. And you know that DNA you will find in in the nucleus. So the entire DNA is isolated from the human cell. How it is isolated, this you will study in biotechnology chapter, so that we are not explaining here. So DNA is isolated. Next point, after DNA is isolated, the DNA is broken down into fragments. Breaking down of DNA into fragments, also there is an enzyme involved, restriction endonuclease. Again, I'm not using the name of the enzyme here, because this all this you will study in detail in biotechnology chapter, which comes little later. So DNA is isolated in the human cell. DNA is broken into fragments. Simply you can write like this. You don't need to use the name of the enzyme. Or later on, when you know the name of the enzyme, you can put it here also. It is like, I'm not, till as such, we have not completed that chapter. So DNA is broken into fragments, random fragments, by restriction endonuclease. That's the enzyme. And once the DNA is broken, then the DNA has to be amplified. Amplification of DNA has to take place. And amplification of DNA is done by cloning, making identical copies. So cloning of DNA fragment is done by vectors. Cloning vectors hota hai. Vectors are basically carriers which will carry the DNA by vectors BAC and YAC. BAC is bacterial artificial chromosome, and YAC is yeast artificial chromosome. So cloning of DNA fragment, ये word must है. Cloning of DNA fragment is done by vectors BAC and YAC. Causes, why is cloning done? Cloning is done for amplification. Causes amplification of DNA. ये word, important, these two. Cloning of DNA fragment is done by vectors. BAC and YAC causes amplification of DNA. So DNA is amplified. So firstly, DNA is isolated from human cell. Second, DNA is
Excuse me, ma'am.
ah, yes,
Ma'am,
Ashwini.
what is meant by vectors?
Vectors are carriers which will carry the DNA. Carriers. Here, vector का मतलब होता है carrier. Okay. Here, what is it carrying? It is carrying the DNA fragments. Now, like say, malaria. Malaria का vector क्या है? Female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito is carrying the germ for malaria. So that's a vector. So the word vector means carrier. So here the carrier for cloning of DNA fragments are these cells. BAC, bacterial artificial chromosome, or YAC, yeast artificial chromosome. ये bacteria are the carriers or the yeast are the carriers. So ये vector is a general term. Okay, it's a carrier. Fine? Okay. Now, cloning of DNA fragment is done by vectors BAC and YAC.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can other eukaryotic cells be used for this amplification process other than yeast?
No. These are what? Unicellular organisms and very simplified organisms. So they can't be used. Other
Ma'am,
can't be used.
we can say that
Eukaryotic cells, 1 minute. Other eukaryotic cells like plant cells and all, that, like I said, in biotechnology chapter, you will see that directly DNA can be pushed into a eukaryotic cell also. And in this, with what step, this is what I'm explaining, is the steps used for sequence annotation for human genome project. So for this, only these two were used. That is what I want to, I mean, make you understand, that these two were used. These are two vectors were used. No other vector was used.
Okay, ma'am.
The other things, when you study biotechnology, like I said, na, isliye I didn't want to go into detail, but it is there in your portion, so I'm explaining to you. But all this, if you understand the biotechnology chapter, then you will be more able to relate to this. Anyway, I have to explain to you, so I'm doing it. So cloning of DNA fragment is done by vectors BAC and YAC, and causes amplification of the DNA. Next one, what is the next steps? That sequencing of the, obviously DNA has sequence, so sequencing of the DNA fragments, sequencing of DNA fragments was done in automated sequencers. Automated sequencers. Okay, automated sequencers. And this automated sequencers worked under the principle, under the principle which was given by Frederick Sagner. So Frederick Sagner, he is name of the scientist who gave the principle or the method for automating sequencing of DNA fragments. If you're asked what is the contribution of Frederick Sagner, contribution of Frederick Sagner was to do automated sequencing of DNA fragments. It's see, manually doing the sequencing is very, very difficult. So this is again, it's like a computer which was used for doing the sequencing of DNA fragment. Sequencing का मतलब वही नाइट्रोजन बेस पेयर्स, इस डीएनए में कौन सा नाइट्रोजन बेस पेयर्स है, that is the meaning, sequencing of DNA fragments. So once this was done, sequencing of DNA fragment was done in automated sequencing sequencers, and the principle was used by, given by Frederick Sagner. Then next step. Now, when you do automated, when you do sequencing, DNA fragments are broken, then there's always overlapping of sequencing. So the overlapping of sequences was studied under special computers. Overlapping of sequences was studied under special computers, and then sequences were assigned to specific chromosomes. So this was the last step. After doing overlapping of sequencing, it was studied by special computers, and then the sequences, the DNA sequences, were assigned to the specific chromosome. Like in humans, there are, like I said, na 23 plus 1. ये था genome का study in humans. You can write 22 plus 1 plus 1. 22 was autosome, one is this X chromosome, another one is the Y chromosome. So 22 autosomes, X chromosome and Y chromosome. These were the 24 chromosomes which were studies. So the sequencing was done, and then the sequencing, after that overlapping and all was studied properly, then we can say that this is the sequence in the first chromosome, this is the sequence in the second chromosome. Like this, it was assigned, annotated to the particular specific chromosome. So that's why the whole term is called sequence annotation. Sequence annotation. So first is isolation of DNA. After isolation of DNA, it was isolation of DNA. तो पता चल जाएगा अभी तुम्हारा DNA fingerprinting. I'll explain उसमें होगा हो जाएगा समझ में. तो annotate. First one is isolation of DNA. Second, the DNA is cut into fragments. DNA is cut into fragments, and obviously the enzyme over there is restriction endonuclease. After cutting the DNA into fragment, the DNA fragments are cloned on vectors like BAC and YAC. That is, BAC is bacterial artificial chromosome, YAC is yeast artificial chromosome. Then this is basically for amplification. Then the fourth step is sequencing of the DNA fragment is done by computers, automated computer sequencing in computers, and the method was given by Frederick Sagner. And once sequencing is done, then the overlapping of the sequencing is studied again by special computers, and after that the sequences are placed on specific chromosomes, and that is completes the step of sequence annotation. After this method, so like I said, two methods: express sequence tag and sequence annotation. For HGP, the method used was the second one, sequence annotation. Now, the next point is we're going to understand what are the salient features of HGP. So, what was the total, you can say, discoveries made in the Human Genome Project? So, what are the total salient features? Goals. If goals are asked, then five goals. Salient features, then this is what you have to give. So please, when I'm teaching, I'm giving you topic wise. You have to understand, don't confuse for each other. Goals is different, and this is the goals means what was the aim of HGP. Now, what are the findings? Total findings of HGP. So first one, salient features में human genome has how many genes? Human genome has 30,000 genes. Only 30,000 genes is present in human genome. What are the nitrogen based sequences, nucleotide based sequences in human genome? 3.1647 billion base pair. Okay, 3.1647 billion base pairs. That is 3 into the power 3 into 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. But this one gives you the exact number. So 3.1647 billion base pairs. This is the human genome. Then third, 99% of human base pairs are similar to each other. Human beings, 99.9% of genes, or you can say base pairs, are same in all human beings. Same. The difference is in point 0.1, obviously. 0.1% difference is there, which amounts to 3.4 million base pair. So the difference in human genes or genome from one person to another is only in this much, 0.1%, which amounts to 3.4 million base pairs. Fourth point, if you're asked which chromosome has the highest gene, first chromosome has the highest gene. which is 2986, I think. 29, yeah, 2968. 2968. First chromosome, highest number of genes, which is 2968. And Y chromosome has the least number of genes, which is 231 genes. Highest number of genes in first chromosome, 2968. And first chromosome completely was, the genes in this chromosome was only discovered in 2006. Human Genome Project was supposed to end in 2003, but इसका discovery was made only in 2006, so 3 साल के बाद. Okay, now 2% 2% of the genes, they code for proteins. Only 2% of genes are coding for proteins. 2%. Next point, 50%. 50% of the genes, the function of 50% of the gene is still unknown. So function unknown. Function unknown of at least 50% of the genes. Still function is unknown. So number of genes in human genome 30,000. बेस पेयर कितना है 3.1647 मिलियन बिलियन. तुम्हारा एनसीईआरटी में ऐसा लिखा है 3164.7 मिलियन लिखा है. So I have just changed this. I have put the point here. So 3.1647, it becomes billion. And 99.9% is same for all humans. The difference is only in 0.1, which amounts to 3.4 million base pairs. First chromosome has highest number of genes, 2968. Y chromosome has the least number of genes, 231 genes. Only 2% of the genes are coding for protein, and 50% of the genes still the functions are unknown. So ये sixth point था. Seventh, 1.4 million single nucleotide polymorphism, SNP, इसको प्रोनाउंस करते हैं ऐसे SNPs. So 1.4 million single nucleotide polymorphisms. Polymorphism मतलब single nucleotide base pairs are present, which are required to understand the human history, trace of human history, how humans have come about. So they are used in studying the human history. And second, they are also helpful in finding out which are the genes responsible for genetic disorders. ये वाला जो है ना is generally asked as a 2-mark question. That what is the full form of SNP? Single nucleotide polymorphism. Single nucleotide polymorphism. That is single nucleotide polymorphism. So they are single nucleotide sequences. They vary from one human to another, and they are helpful in two things. They help to trace the human history, basically the evolution of man, and second, they also help in understanding which are the diseases caused by genes, or genetic disorders, diseases related to genes. So these are the two important functions of SNP. Then 8.1 million base pairs are repeated sequences. They are called as junk DNA. 1 million base pairs are repeated sequences called as junk DNA. And generally, this junk DNA, where is it found? Like if this is the chromosome, it is found around the centromere or at the terminal ends of the chromosome, terminal tips of the chromosome, or in the centromere, like this. So the junk DNA, repeated sequences of DNA, about 1 million base pairs are like this in our human genome, which, sorry, are called as junk DNA. So this is amount about 8 points you have to write for the salient features of the Human Genome Project. So I hope you have understood what is important here. This is an important question, two marker question, that what are SNP, SNP, what is SNP? Or pronunciation is like this: SNP, SNIPS, SNPs. So what do you mean by SNPs? ये entrance question अगर होगा तो it means this: SNP, that is single nucleotide polymorphism, and two functions. One, it helps to trace the human history or evolution of human, and second, it helps to identify genes which causes genetic disorder. These are the two important functions of SNP. And junk DNA, how many million? 1 million base pairs, and they are located at the terminal ends or the centromere. And basically, what is the importance? We now will study in DNA fingerprinting. And which is the genes, highest number of genes in which chromosome? First chromosome, 2968. Least number of genes in which chromosome? 231, that is Y chromosome. How many genes? 30,000 genes. How many base pairs? 3.1647 billion base pairs. How much is same from one human to another? It is 99.9%. Only 0.1% is different from one human to another, which is about 304 million base pair. If you're asked which gene is the largest gene in the human body, the largest gene in the human body is of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne muscular dystrophy. This gene is not a normal gene. It is a disease causing gene. It causes this disease. Duchenne muscular dystrophy is the largest gene in the human body. And इसका जो ये है, what is it, किलो बेस पेयर, इसका जो साइज है 2.4 kilo base pair. That is this thing of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So largest gene in the human body. So with this, we have completed the Human Genome Project. So Human Genome Project, may first we understood what was when it was started. Then we studied the goals of which countries were involved. Then what are the goals? Why it is called as a mega project? What are the methods used? What are the salient features? And which were the other non-human organisms जिसका genome was studied. Now, the next topic we will understand is DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting was invented in 1984 by Alec Jeffrey. Alec Jeffrey, Sir Alec Jeffrey, UK का बंदा था. तो it was in 1984, Sir Alec Jeffrey, he invented this. And India में two doctors are named to bring this technology to India. That is Dr. Lalji Singh and Dr. Kashyap. Dr. Lalji Singh and Dr. Kashyap. These are the two scientists who were involved in bringing this technology to India. Now, DNA fingerprinting. देखो हम लोग का fingerprints, fingerprints they say is very unique from one person to another. But now more authentic becomes the DNA. The DNA of one person is very unique. What is so unique about the DNA? The VNTR. So this is the unique thing in DNA for a DNA to be unique to that person. VNTR. What is VNTR? Full form is variable number tandem repeats. Variable number tandem repeats. They are basically short repeated nucleotide sequences. Short repeated nucleotide sequences. Two question. What is the full form of VNTR? This one. Variable number tandem repeats. What is the meaning of VNTR? Short repeated nucleotide sequences. Like say A, A, A. T, 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 T. Double bond, double bond, double bond, double bond, double bond. So if you see here, A double bond T is repeated how many times? 5 times. This is a VNTR. G triple bond C repeated 3 times. VNTR. G triple bond C repeated 10 times. VNTR. Same way, this one also. This repeated 6 times. VNTR. So either G triple bond C or A double bond T. T double bond A is same or vice versa can be there, isn't it? So there's short repeated nucleotide sequences. They are known as VNTR. Now, for a person, like if this is a child, this child will have some VNTRs of his mother, some VNTRs of his father. The child may have some VNTR belonging to the mother. Suppose the mother on the fifth chromosome has this sequence and it is found in the child. We can say that this child belongs to this mother. Same way, suppose the father has some VNTR, say about 10th chromosome, he has a VNTR, or when 10th chromosome and say 15th chromosome, he has some VNTRs which are matching with the child on the 10th chromosome and the 15th chromosome. We can easily establish that this child belongs to this father or he is the parent. So, like this, paternity cases can be solved by studying the DNA fingerprinting or VNTR. Plus, this child will have some VNTRs which are unique to it. Some VNTRs which is ancestral will come, heredity will come. Some VNTRs will be unique to the child, which can be when this one gets married and has children, it can be correlated to him also. So like this, the VNTRs are important in DNA fingerprinting. I hope I made myself clear now how paternity cases are solved. And it has happened in India also. About 2 3 years back, there was one 35-year-old man who uh, was in fact trying his level best to establish that he was the son of a certain, you know, political figure. And political figure was not ready to accept him as a son, and later on it was established by DNA fingerprinting that he was the son. Actually, he just wanted to prove his parentage. He didn't want money out of that fellow, but he wanted to just prove his parentage. So like this, paternity cases can be solved by VNTR. Criminal cases can be solved, DNA fingerprinting say. Then DNA fingerprinting say also we can understand the evolution. Like we have evolved from apes. Now apes are basically gorilla, chimpanzee, orangutan and gibbon, four types of apes. सो इन चारों एप्स में क्लोजेस्ट किस में है हम लोग? सो इट इज एस्टैब्लिश दैट वी आर क्लोजेस्ट टू चिंपैंजी. Again, by what? By DNA fingerprinting. We are not close to monkeys. We are closer to apes. But out of the four apes, we are closer to chimpanzees. So, like this, humans have evolved. When you study evolution chapter, also you'll understand that the evolution of human has taken place through the apes. So, anyway, now VNTR is clear. Now, let's come to what are the cells used. What are the cells used in studying the DNA fingerprinting? Firstly, basically, suppose you volunteer that my DNA has to be found out or printed or banded, then they will just take a swab. ये मुंह का ऐसे स्वॉब ले लेंगे, ब्लड ले लेंगे. तो मुंह का स्वॉब में क्या लेते हैं? बेसिकली इट इज स्क्वैमस epithelial cells of cheeks. They'll just take a like a ear, वो earbud होता है ना, they'll just take it and rotate it in your mouth, and inside the inner lining of the cheek has this squamous epithelial cell, very big cells with very big nucleus, so a lot of DNA in it. So that's it. Second, semen can be used. Third, semen and all, for rape victim, for say crime scene. So third is WBC, blood. Blood may only WBC can be used. Why only WBC? Because WBC is nucleated. No RBC and blood platelets. RBC and blood platelets not used. It cannot be used. Why? Because they don't have nucleus. So this is also one question. Like in blood cells, which are the blood cells used? It is only WBC, because WBC is nucleated, whereas RBC and blood platelets are enucleated, not having nucleus, so not used. Fourth point, hair follicle cells, cells of hair follicles. Cells of hair follicles. Cells of hair follicles. ये hair is dead. ये जो यहाँ पर है, यहाँ इस एरिया में जो आता है, ये follicles है. इसमें hair is attached to follicles. So this part, which when you pull out a hair, the cells are there. So that is the cells which are used, not this hair. This is dead. So dead will not have nucleus. And last point is, suppose there's a charred body, a body which is totally burnt. Okay, a body which is totally burnt. How do you take out the DNA from that body? So for that, you can use the pulp of the teeth. Pulp of the teeth. Like ये teeth है, ये part, ये this is dead part है ना, dentine है ना, ये part, the pulp of the teeth has cells. तो वहां से you can draw out cells, or you can take cells from the bone marrow. Bone थोड़ा difficult से जलेगा, तो bone marrow cells you can take for charred body. body which has been burnt. You can't take skin cells. Skin, ऊपर का skin are dead cells. Dead cells रहता है ऊपर. So that will not have nucleus. So like this, squamous epithelial cells, inner lining of the cheek, semen, then WBC, blood cells में WBC, RBC and blood platelet not used because does not have nucleus. Cells of the hair follicles can be used. And last one, if the body is charred, then you take the cells in the pulp cavity or you take bone marrow cells. So can I take 10 minutes? I want to finish this chapter. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let us see what are the steps of DNA fingerprinting. Steps of DNA fingerprinting. Simple steps है. First one, DNA is isolated by high speed refrigeration, centrifugation. So the technique used, suppose what is the technique used? You will use the word centrifugation. Technique is centrifugation, but for centrifugation there are two conditions. एक हाई स्पीड चाहिए, दूसरा लो टेम्परेचर चाहिए. रिफ्रिजरेशन का मतलब क्या होता है? लो टेम्परेचर. So the DNA of the cell is isolated by centrifugation, which has to be under high speed and at low temperature. These are the conditions. Second point, डीएनए जैसे क्राइम सीन में बहुत कम डीएनए मिलेगा. मगर अगर सपोज आई वॉलंटियर टू टेक आउट माई डीएनए डू माई डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंट, उसमें डीएनए लाइक ऐसे स्क्वाब से लेगा तो ज्यादा डीएनए रहेगा. तो सेकंड पॉइंट में क्या है? पीसीआर, पॉलीमरेज चेन रिएक्शन. Polymerase chain reaction is used for making copies of DNA. This is the second point. This second point, like I said, can be considered or not considered depending upon कितना DNA है. Okay, so PCR, copies of DNA is used by this technique, polymerase chain reaction. This technique again we will study in biotechnology chapter. PCR, polymerase chain reaction. Third, restriction endonuclease is used for cutting the VNTR. So cutting the DNA. So DNA into VNTR fragments. For this, the enzyme uses restriction endonuclease. It will cut the DNA at specific locations. जहां जहां VNTR है उसको remove करेगा, हटा देगा. It will separate the VNTR because we require the VNTRs only. So restriction endonuclease is used for cutting the VNTR of DNA. Fourth point, agarose gel electrophoresis is used for separating the DNA. Agarose gel electrophoresis. Electrophoresis is the technique and it is done in a medium. What is the medium? Agarose. Agarose is basically agar. Agar gel medium mein it is done. So with this, the DNA will separate out. And generally, this step is again done only if suppose crime scene में more than one DNA is there. Suppose many DNA is there. Then to separate the DNA, this is done. तो जनरली एंट्रेंस में एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि आउट ऑफ द स्टेप्स ऑफ द डीएनए which are the steps which need not be done. need not be done. तो ये एक स्टेप 2 और स्टेप 4. स्टेप 2 पीसीआर. पीसीआर नहीं करने का जरूरत है अगर डीएनए ज्यादा है. अगर डीएनए मालूम है कि इसी बंदे का डीएनए है और 1% का डीएनए है, देन दिस स्टेप नीड नॉट बी डन. तो स्टेप 2 एंड स्टेप 4 ये सीक्वेंस में है, ऊपर नीचे नहीं लिखना है इसको. These are the steps. तो पहला क्या है? Isolation of DNA. Second, copies of DNA is made if the DNA is less by PCR technique. Third, restriction endonuclease is used to cut the VNTRs in the DNA. Then agarose gel electrophoresis is used for separating the DNA. उसके बाद fifth point, alkaline chemicals. Alkaline chemicals are used for breaking the duplex DNA into single strand, breaking the duplex VNTR into single strand. Alkaline chemicals. Alkaline chemicals are used for breaking the duplex VNTR into single strands. ये VNTR है. Again, I've taken that example, 5 repeated sequences. Now this VNTR is broken. Duplex is broken into single strands by what chemicals? Alkaline chemicals. Treating the VNTRs by alkaline chemicals. Sixth point. The VNTR is poured. ये एक बात, ऐसे एक बात लेते हैं. इसमें नाइट्रोसेल्युलोज शीट है. नाइलॉन और नाइट्रोसेल्युलोज शीट और नाइलॉन शीट dipped in a bath, ये bath medium having probes. These are probes. So the sixth point is the VNTRs are poured on a nitrocellulose sheet or nylon sheet dipped in a bath having probes. This is called as Southern blotting because it was a technique given by Southern, name of the scientist. This is called as Southern blotting. So what is Southern blotting? The VNTR is poured on nitrocellulose sheet or nylon sheet dipped in a bath having probes, PROBES. This technique is called Southern blotting. तो डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंटिंग में कौन कौन सा टेक्निक इज यूज? सेंट्रिफिकेशन इज यूज, इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस इज यूज्ड, सदर्न ब्लॉटिंग टेक्निक इज यूज्ड, है ना. ये थर्ड टेक्निक. अब एक और आएगा. तो नाउ व्हाट इज दिस प्रोब? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ प्रोब? ये हो गया, सदर्न ब्लॉटिंग हो गया. नाउ द सेवेंथ पॉइंट. Actually, first let us understand what are probes. Probes are short repeated nucleotide sequences which are radioactive. Short repeated nucleotide sequences which are radioactive. ये radioactive नहीं है. VNTR is not radioactive. In other words, I can say radioactive VNTR. Simple. Radioactive VNTR. So short repeated nucleotide sequences that we have understood for VNTR, but here one more word we have to use, radioactive. So what does this probe do? This probe is used in random. Different types of probes are just put in the bath and then this VNTR is put, and then this probe, what it will do, it will show hybridization. Now ये ए के साथ कौन सा प्रोब आके अटैच होगा, जिसमें 5T है, 5 T's वाला प्रोब अटैच हो जाएगा। ये टी के साथ कौन अटैच होगा, विच हैज 5 A's, वो प्रोब ऐसे अटैच हो जाएगा। इसको व्हाट दिस इज कॉल्ड, अगेन कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री बेस पेयरिंग रूल के अकॉर्डिंग दिस इज वर्ड इज यूज इज हाइब्रिडाइजेशन. So there simply you have to write there is hybridization between VNTR and probes. So after hybridization is over, suppose here I've just given 5, suppose 3 है VNTR, so 3 जिसमें 3 प्रोब है वो अटैच होगा, हाइब्रिडाइज होगा. So after hybridization, if I put an X-ray film, ऐसे ऊपर में X-ray film, if I put on top an X-ray film, it will show banding क्योंकि यहाँ से रेडिएशन निकलेगा. How many bands? 5 bands. X-ray film में 5 बैंड आएगा, means 5 VNTR था, 5. सेम वे इसमें करेंगे तो 5 आएगा, 3 के ऊपर करेंगे तो 3 बैंडिंग आएगा. तो an X-ray film is placed over the hybridized area and banding occurs. So that is called, what is it called? That is DNA fingerprinting. That's it. That is the last step of DNA fingerprinting. So hybridization, after the 8th step will be X-ray film is placed over the hybridized area and there is banding due to radiations which are emitting from the probes, and that is called as DNA fingerprinting. That's the last line. So altogether you can say there are 8 steps. First is isolation of DNA. Second step is PCR technique is used to make copies of DNA. Third step, restriction endonuclease will cut the DNA into VNTRs. Then the VNTR or DNA are separated by agarose gel electrophoresis. Then they are treated with alkaline chemicals to break the duplex into single stranded DNA. And once the single stranded DNA is formed, then it is poured on a nitrocellulose sheet or nylon sheet, dipped in a bath having probes. What are probes? They are short repeated nucleotide sequences which are radioactive. The probes will show hybridization with the VNTR, and then X-ray film is placed on the hybridized area, and what will form? It will form banding. So DNA fingerprinting is over. I told you what is the important significance. One, to solve paternity cases. Second, to solve criminal cases in forensic science. Third, it can be used for solving, evolution, to study evolution, tracing human history or any history, any evolution, any organism ka evolution. And fourth important is it also helps in immigration. Immigration means when a person wants to leave one country and enter into another country, generally they will ask you, do you have anyone who can sponsor you? So sponsor may generally you find, a close relative only can sponsor you. Friends do sponsor, but वो बहुत rare होता है. So close relative. Now suppose you say my uncle is sponsoring me. My uncle will pay for my medical bills or he's sponsoring me. So they will try to solve. Suppose they don't, or they want to just prove that it is correct. He is your uncle. So they would like to do this what you call as DNA fingerprinting to match the DNA. So, like I said, if there is a relation, if there is a closeness, a relation between one organism to another or one human to another, there will be some VNTRs which will definitely match. Brothers, sisters, brother, sister, में कुछ ना कुछ VNTR will match. So, you're making them, okay, they belong to this parent. So, like this, VNTRs of the DNA fingerprinting is important in also in immigration, in laws of immigration. So that is all for today, and with this we have completed this chapter